So my current studio is looking at the proposed PennDOT freeway project through Penns Brush Valley outside of campus. So studio is looking at issues of beyond just transportation, but issues of the environment, the sustainability of the environment, community structure, heritage, cultural regions, watersheds, all the things that make a community holistic. Looking at the proposal for the freeway by PennDOT and looking at alternatives to make a safer, more efficient drive, but also a new road that protects local resources, natural and cultural, improves access not only for people traveling through the valley, but for people that live there as well. So thinking about multimodalism, not just cars and trucks, but people on bicycles, pedestrians, school children, different types of user groups. So the Department of Landscape Architecture has a strong focus on sustainability, and the profession has historically had a strong focus on sustainability. So within our department, it's how we think and it's how we problem solve with everything. So it's looking at all aspects holistically and trying to find solutions. One of my concerns nowadays is with concerns with climate change and resiliency. We try to just engineer our way out, but sometimes the solutions don't consider cultural factors, community access, and things like that. So we can physically block or change things, but what impact does that have on the community, their sense of identity, and their sense of place in the landscape? With landscape architecture, we look at those through aspects of the built environment, where people live, how they move through the landscape. Certainly for this one project, it's very much about community and culture and people. Um, the Penns Brush Valley is a National Register eligible historic agriculture district. So it's already recognized as a place that's special based on people and culture and history. So the question becomes, how does that legacy work in? We can't freeze in the past, but how do we respect the past, make accommodations? And the same can be said for the natural systems as well, in terms of water resources. We have very distinctive soils in this area, very good quality farm soil as well. These are resources that if they're damaged or lost, have a huge impact on climate change and resiliency. They also have an impact on how people use the land and associate with land. Um, there's a lot of challenges out there right now, and we're still figuring out information how to respond. Our students are looking at this not just in terms of simply problem solving, but the impact it has on people and communities. And how do we adapt and how do we change without losing a sense of identity? And in landscape architecture, we have the science of the environment, we have the science of ecology, we look at all these issues, but then we also look at the people. How do they move? How do they live? What are their traditions and values? And also how might they need to be thinking about changing and making accommodations going forward in a way that they feel comfortable with and happy about when it's all done.